Hey guys, welcome to the 2020 Ice Bowl. I'm going to be doing a nice voiceover for you today. Here are some pre-round shots of the course. As you can see, it snowed quite a bit. So it was fun. It was just a fun day. Tee-pads were a little slick, but great doubles tournament, and it's always a bunch of fun. We raised over $8,000 for the Midwest Food Bank, and those cans of food were for City Church and Pekin to fill up their pantry. So here we are on hole one. The tee pad's very slick. I kind of left this in here to show you guys that we could tee from the tee or from the side. So I'm going to opt to throw from the side here. I threw a Cosmic Neutron Trace, just something a little more understable than I'd normally throw, just to get something out there. This is a hard birdie, so just take what we can get. We were the first group teeing off at 8 a.m. And my partner for today is Nathan Yim. I was going to play with the same partner I played with in the last doubles video, but he was currently sick. So we started out with a par. Here we are on hole two, just a little bit of an Annie shot with a big drop off to the right. So Nate put it real close there to get us our first birdie of the round. There you go with the tee pads. You can see we had an ice storm 2 days before this tournament, and then it snowed on top of that twice. So the tees were very interesting, the front nine, to say the least. So this pin is a little bit to the left over there. Nate takes more of the traditional straight route. I'm going to throw the Anheuser route. In this shot here, you can see the tree branches were so covered in ice, if you just clipped anything, it just killed your shot. So here we are with my first solid look at a jump putt in 2021. If you watch my year-end video, you'll know that I really love jump putting. I just smashed just a 60-ish footer. That felt really good. It's good to get your confidence going in these double tournaments, and that would be a bonus hole for sure. So here we are on hole 4, down the hill to the left. Very fast green. I'm throwing a runway. Just trying to throw it a little wide so it skips to the left and checks up, more so than throw this hole directly. I checked up just fine, about 20 feet long. And there's Nate with a nice putt to get us to 3 under. Oh, another thing too, the roads you'll see are not out of bounds in this. That's why we're throwing this over the road shot. And typically in the summer there'd be more people walking and stuff, but it's not really the case in the winter. So here we are again. Nate asked me if I wanted to go first, and I told him I'd go ahead and knock it down. And I did not disappoint. I have hit 2 jump putts through 5 holes, and pretty lengthy ones at that. Here's the easiest hole of the course, 157 feet, just uphill. Nothing to it. You just split those trees, kind of fluff and nose up shot with a putter, and you're parked. There's Nate taking care of some easy work. This tee pad was insanely slick. I tried to throw my nitro and I couldn't get my I couldn't plant down and get power through my shot, so I just ended up a little bit to the left. And here's Nate trying to throw an upshot. He ends up sawing it off. The ground on this hole had tons of ice underneath the snow. It's kind of hard to tell in this angle, but you could see on the previous shot. So I grab a reactor to kind of fix it. I do a funny little kick. I end up leaving it just a little bit wide, hit a tree, and you can tell I'm a little dejected. Here I am taking my time on another jump putt we shouldn't necessarily have, but we do. And lo and behold, I smash another jump putt. If you would have told me I'd make 3 putts for 160 feet or so in the first 7 holes of this tournament, I would not have believed you. So this hole we missed in Freeze Your Bag Off tournament a couple months ago, and you can see I caught a tree and then Nate just short-armed it real bad. So here we are with a very bad chance at a birdie on the second easiest hole in the course. I ended up flashing the chains. I was maybe 2 or 3 inches just short, so I missed it. Here's a nice putt from Zach Rebholz, our card mates, a.k.a. Z-Reb, a.k.a. Tom Petty. Now we have fun with him, though. It's got a few nicknames. So we parred the easiest hole in the course. That sucks, but here we are, -6 through 8. This one's just pretty much a little hyzer with a subtle fade at the end. Once again, I clip a branch, and I just can't believe how much it affected my flight. So we're in the middle of the road. Like I said, it's inbounds though, right off the top. End up parring that hole. This hole's insane. It plays so far downhill. Like, I'm not kidding when I say I threw that shot 15% power. You just let it fall out of your hand, and I actually hit the pole. And there's the back on the birdie train, and I can't pick up my disc. I really can't pick up my disc. All right, so here we are starting the bottom 9. I see that I accidentally left that saying hole 9A. This is hole 10, and it's 288 feet. Just a beautiful electron anode shot. End up putting it about 20 feet pin high or so. And there's a nice putt. So now we're on 10A. Like I said, the last hole should have said 10. I'm throwing a plasma fireball, a little sidearm here. First real sidearm of the day, and I smashed it. So here we are, about 50 long. And the Scholastic Titan didn't spit me out because I didn't give it a chance. Either way, we're 8 down. Time to get back on the birdie train. This hole is pretty easy. 245 straight in front of you. Nothing in the way. Nate puts it real close for an easy birdie.
Good job. I mean, it looks way.
All right, here's 10C. Uphill shot, 265. There was a weird wind holding everything out as I do an awkward pirouette there for some reason. It left us pin high, maybe 25. And this basket always is leaning. I mean, you can. I did a fun little
I'm excited though. I'm happy I made it.
super jacked up fist pump thing there. So, not to look at that too lightly. Those baskets are just not very good. They don't catch well. So it felt good to hit that, especially when it was leaning super far forward. Nate here threw something sort of understable. Had enough stability to come back late. This is one of the more hard bonus holes here as far as the temp holes go. But he put it pretty close, about 22, 25 feet or so. And there's Nate getting his putter working. He loved to see that. All right, so as we go into hole 11, we are 11 down. This one I'm just going to grab a stabilizer. It's a pretty easy little hyzer here. And as you can see, just as the last hole, they didn't really want to come in, and it was a similar shape. I'm sorry, 2 holes ago. Similar angle to where the wind should have affected it the same, and it definitely did. It held me out. It's okay. Nate has putter working. We're good. So here we are in this little temp hole, 201 feet. We're just kind of throwing a little flex sidearm. You want to hold more Annie than hyzer and just slide it up there. The ice and the snow are kind of making him skip a bit too much, but Nate and I, our discs landed right next to each other, so I just decided to put them in. So overall, this was a very 50-50 kind of round for us. We complemented each other very well just playing doubles. I joked around and said I aced this one, and it was kind of funny because when I got up here, I don't know what Nate's doing. He's trying to. Oh, okay. There's my divot. So had there not have been ice there, or if it was harder ice, I might have gotten ace. It would have been very close. Here's Tom Petty again, banging in a nice 2 for their team. But yeah, like I said, it seems like we were picking each other up. I was putting well in the beginning. Nate was driving a little better, and then I started driving well. Then Nate started putting, and then now we're just literally going to flip back and forth. It's fun to show these dominant doubles rounds, especially in inclement weather like this. There's Nate with a nice solo 2. This one here is kind of a flexy shot, just under 300 feet. I'm throwing my runway again. And I put this one, just don't hit your head close. Another thing, sorry I throw so many discs that are like whitish or light blue. I didn't really realize it until this round. And so does Nate here. This shot was gnarly because of the ice was pulling down the limb so much. You had what would normally be like a 10-foot tall, maybe 8-foot wide gap turn into like a 5-foot tall, 4-foot wide gap. It was kind of crazy. There's Nate with a nice 2. Hole 15. This one would be a nice little sidearm or a turnover putter shot. I opt for the putter, Nate opts for the sidearm. Either way, he had the better shot here, so we left this in, and Nate's gonna grab us another birdie. So the best I'd ever shot in this layout would be 19 down. And so we're already at 18 and we have 5 holes to play. Nate and I both threw serviceable shots in this hole. He ended up being like a step closer, so we went with his. And this hole was like impossible with the limbs hanging down. I haven't looked through the scores, but I would not be surprised if there wasn't a single birdie on this hole. It's not super hard, or super far rather. It's just so tight with these icy limbs, and I just couldn't resist putting another dejected shot where I caught a limb and it just killed my disc. Another good jump putt run. I'll take it. Walk away with the 3. So this is a super bonus hole here. I actually got it in the last tournament we played, and I want to hug this as tight as I can, but the creek is raging today, so I'm going to play it a little bit wider and just play for my skip. It's a super dog leg left. Like, the basket is seriously almost at 9 o'clock. So I'm throwing a nitro here. Really, really looking for the skip, like I said. I probably landed at about 100 short and took a 60-foot skip. And there we go. I called it in the air, and Nate got himself a long putt. You love to see that, too. So here we're on hole 17, 375. I think it might actually be 389. I don't know the distance for sure. But Nate throws one out there. It's looking absolutely beautiful. And then he just whacks that tree on the right, leaving us with a long, like 70, 80 footer. I thought I made it. I was walking it in. Either way, there we are. Holy crap, that almost spit out. All right, the last hole. We're at 20 under. I made a joke and say I was going for this. I tried to get my my matrix right to the right of that tree, and I perfectly split that sycamore, and I am absolutely parked for 21 under. And then Nate decides he's going to try to outdo me with his cheetah here. And he comes in parked as well. And this is kind of hilarious here. We're sort of like fighting over who was going to tap in their shot. That was the other team putting. He ran and threw it in. Since we were done, I figured I'd throw mine in too. Alright, so here's our scorecard. We shot 21 down through 27 holes. That's just shredder golf. We did pretty much everything right except for missing maybe 2 short holes. We ended up with a 3-stroke lead. So guys, thanks so much for watching. It's always fun playing with Nate. I'm glad we could get the W. And thanks to my sponsors, MVP, Plastic Addicts, and Paragon. And I'll see you guys in the next one.